Wouldn't Scotty's hit be at mid one?
Mid one. Scotty's hit should be mid one, yeah.
Okay.
Should be.
Bright skies fill Eldridge Park here in Orleans, Massachusetts. The rain and the tornado warnings have subsided, and we finally have some more baseball. It's an East Division matchup between the Road Orleans Firebirds and the Harwich Mariners. As this doubleheader, as the Mariners will be the home team for Game 1. They forfeited a home game just so we could play another day of baseball. Thomas Inzarella alongside Josh White here on the Birds Broadcast Network. And as we start to head almost towards the early August stage of this Cape League season, every matchup between East Division foe becomes just a little bit more important. The Firebirds got back on track 2 nights ago against Hyannis, where it would look like a total win for the Birds.
Yeah, Thomas, it's going to be a grind the next 9 days. 12 games, including these two, over the next 9, including 10 against the East Division. So this is the time where the Orleans Firebirds have to play their best baseball, secure a spot in the postseason, and then anything can happen from there on out.
Almost every team on the Cape is in a situation like the Firebirds are, but just, not as bad, I guess. The brevity of each team. Some teams have 10 games, 9 days. Some have 9 to 9. It just depends. So the Mariners will send Jacob Polish, the southpaw from Stanford, to the hill, making his 5th start on Cape Cod. His 2nd against the Firebirds, pitch against them back on June 29th. First pitch, fastball outside corner for strike 1 at Zach Kokoska. And we're underway from Eldridge Park at exactly 4 p.m. Eastern Time. Left-hander Polish kicks and fires. 0-1, fouled off the mitt of Winkle. Count 0-2. So Kokoska, Britton, the right fielder, and Trani playing DH tonight. The 3 Firebirds start off this top of the first from Eldridge Park. 0-2. Fastball upstairs, cut on a miss, and foul tipped in the mitt of Winkle for strike 3. And Polish starts exactly the way he probably wanted to start this game, with a strikeout.
Yeah, and Polish dominated, frankly, his last time out against the Firebirds. 9 Ks in 6 innings. But ironically enough, picked up the loss that day. That was a game the Firebirds won 5-1 at White House Field. Just couldn't get enough offensive run support. It's been a common trend so far this summer for the Mariners.
First pitch from Polish to left-hander Zach Britton, outside edge for strike 1. The Firebirds have taken all 3 ball games against the Mariners this year. 1 back at White House, counting this one to be the 2nd game. 0-1. Off-speed fouled into the screen for strike 2. Count 0-2. And then they saw June 30th and then July 10th here at Eldridge Park. Firebirds won both those ball games. It's a Firebirds team that loves to play this Harwich Mariners as the 0-2 off-speed is lifted down the third base side out of play. Count remains 0-2. The Firebirds in 3 games this year, well above average in almost every category. Offensively, again, it's only 3 games, about only 100 AB sample size. A 271 average. 0-2 pitch comes up and in and hits Britton just below the elbow as he wheels it around, as he will walk down the first base line. So top of the first here from Eldridge Park. Britton works a 1-out walk, or hit by pitch, excuse me, as Trani will come around from the right side as he makes sure Britton's okay at first base. So here is the man who leads all of Cape Cod in batting average, Max Troiani. Polish now worked from the stretch for the first time. First pitch fastball located perfectly at the knees for strike 1. So to the first 3 hitters of this ball game, Polish has worked a first pitch strike. Get Brennan off of first base, 1 down here in the top of the first. Rander Trani against the left-hander Polish. Looks low over at first, kicks and fires the 0-1. Fastball slapped down the first base line, but foul. As Ryan Erickson back over at first base. Just gets out of the way of that one. Count 0 balls and 2 strikes on Troiani. Polish looks to pick up his 2nd punch out here, the 0-2. Off speed is blooped out towards shallow right field. Ranging in is the right fielder Cabrera, fading towards the line, and makes the grab just in fair ground.
You're going to be very successful on the mound if you get ahead of every batter you face, nothing in two, and that's exactly what Polish has done. Really could be out of the inning if that ball doesn't come up and in against Zach Britton. This inning at least would be over.
We'll take a look around the defensive side of things for the Mariners here. Chris Gallen over at left field, Joey Moore out in center, Daniel Cabrera over in right, Terrata at third, Hal Hughes at shortstop, Dylan Noisy at second, Nico Cavadas at first, and Pat Winkle doing the catching for Jacob Polish tonight. First pitch to Trevin Esquera is pushed down the first base side, foul for strike one. Two down here at the top of the first. Zach Britton over at first after a hit by pitch, and they're exactly right. If pitch didn't come up and in on Britton, he would have been out of his inning. And Polish, a guy that about 71% of the time will fire a first pitch strike. It's good for second on the team on Jordan Butler. We will see in the second game at 72%. 0-1. Fastball up and in is fouled back to the screen. Count 0-2.
And both of those guys have had good summers and for good reasons. It sounds so simple, Thomas. You throw strikes, usually going to be a pretty good pitcher.
That's exactly right. The Birds trying to get on the board first here in the top of the first. Polish set from the belt, kicks and fires the 0-2. Fastball upstairs. Jets getting a piece of it is Esquera. Count remains 0-2. It's a hot day here on a Cape Cod, especially in Orleans. But I'm sure everybody will take this weather over what happened yesterday. Two tornadoes touching down, one in Harwich and one in Hyannis. 0-2 fastball, reach for, and just getting a piece of it is Esquera. Count 0-2. A lot of places in Chatham and Harwichport still don't have power. Luckily, Orleans was not hit as bad. Just a couple branches down, but nothing major. 90-mile winds down in Hyannis and in Chatham. Wind blowing out to straightaway center tonight. Polish waits, kicks and fires 0-2. Lifted out of play behind the dish once again. Scary guy that's been coming around for the Birds as of late. And that big home run here at Eldridge Park. And a switch hitter took that one from the left side as he bats from the right side here today against the left-hander Polish. Currently on a 3-game hit streak, 4 for his last 11, including a double and a home run. 0-2 once more. Off speed, wave and a miss for strike 3. So Polish fools Esquera and finally wins the battle there. As Polish picks a scoreless first inning after half an inning, no runs on no hits, no errors, one man left on a base. Still a scoreless ballgame here from Eldridge Park between the Firebirds and the Mariners. We'll step aside. This is a Firebirds baseball on the Birds Broadcast Network. Home half of the first inning from Eldridge Park. Still a scoreless ball game as Jacob Polish strikes out 2 Firebirds in that half inning. The Firebirds will send Adam Seminaris, the southpaw, native of Chino Hills, California. Plays his college ball at Long Beach State, making his 6th start here on Cape Cod. 1-0 with a 2.49 ERA. He's pitched 21 2/3, struck out 13, has walked just 3. And that has been the recipe for success for Seminaris. Really just one bad outing back on July 9th against Brewster. 5 hits, 3 runs, 3 earned, and 3 walks. Struck out 4, though, in that ball game. So Daniel Cabrera, the right fielder from LSU, will start things off for the Mariners from the left side against the southpaw and Adam Seminaris. Seminaris kicks and deals. First pitch. Fastball located perfectly in the outside corner for strike 1 on Cabrera.
Now the interesting thing to watch with Seminaris today, hasn't pitched in an official game since July 9th.
It has been a while for him as the 0-1 fastball, pretty much same spot, outside corner. Count 0-2. And we've seen that a couple times this year. Some guys have gotten better with the days off rest, but sometimes as well, can really throw you in for a loop when take a week and a half hiatus. 0-2. Fastball chopped over the head, up the middle, towards the second baseman, and Whitcomb fields around it, but throw well not in time as Cabrera beats with that one out easily. Just a slow chopper over the head of Seminaris, and the Mariners pick up their first base hit in this ball game.
Yeah, and that's what Daniel Cabrera has been doing in the month of July, hitting above the 300 mark in the second half of this summer, really turning things around. That's just the second hit this summer surrendered by Seminaris to a left-handed bat.
So nobody down in this bottom of the first. Then Chris Galland, the outfielder from Boston College, digs in from the right side. A little bit of open stance. First pitch swinging, ground ball hard on the left side. Scooped up by McCabe. Over to Whitcomb at second. Turn over to first. It's in time. 5-4-3 double play just like that. After Cabrera gets on with a single, erases it. Seminaris erases it with a double play.
Well, if there's one hard guy to double up on the Cape Cod Baseball League, it's Chris Galland. That ball was just hit right hard to Eddie McCabe, and he was able to flip it. Hats off to the Firebirds for turning that one with the speedy Galland hustling down the line.
So quickly 2 down here in the bottom of the first. Still a 0-0 game here at Eldridge Park. Christian Fetko, the DH from UConn, shows bunt, pulls it back. It's in there at the knees for strike 1. Fetko hitting .275 here so far in Cape Cod, including 5 doubles, a triple, and a home run. He has walked 11 times, just struck out 17 as the 0-1 runs inside as Fetko dances out of the way. Count a ball and a strike. Again, Harwich forfeited a home game here today to play at Eldridge Park, but they're still the home team in this game, one of the doubleheader. 1-1 fastball, inside corner for strike 2. Fastball 89 miles an hour, count 1-2. So Seminaris looks to retire the Mariners here in the home half of the first. 1-2. Fastball upstairs, looped out just over the head of Whitcomb in a right center field for a base knock. Taking a strong turnaround first as Daniels picks it up, throws it back in, but a little bloop shot just over Whitcomb. He just not tall enough to get it. So with 2 down, Mariners have a base runner. I want to take a look at the defensive side of things for the Firebirds. Starting from left to right on the outfield, Zach Kokoska out of left, Zach Daniels over in center, and Zach Britton over in right. It's the Zach trio once again. And McCabe over at third base, Tanner Murray playing short. Whitcomb over at second. Trevin Ascari gets the start at first. And Rob Emery doing the catching. First pitch of Joey Weimer is hit hard on the ground. Dive by Whitcomb. Gets to his feet. Throw on to first. It's in time. So a couple nice defensive plays from McCabe and Whitcomb get the Firebirds out of here in the first unscathed. Mariners no runs on 2 hits, no errors, and 1 man left on base. We're through 1 here at Eldridge Park. Between the Mariners and the Firebirds, it's still a scoreless ball game. And now we're going to send it down to our silent reporter, Scotty Gage, for the first time today. Scotty?
Thomas, you sound good today, man. The voice, it's silky smooth. It must be the outside air, huh?
Yeah, a little bit of sun, no tornadoes. So
yeah, baby. All right, I was just going to say, man, take a look out at this place. I mean, what a beautiful day for day baseball. Right now, you guys can't see me. I know the camera can. I'm hanging out on the bench out in left field. I've got my mac and cheese. It's not much of a thing you'd like to eat on a hot day, but it's good. It's from Cook's Seafood. And actually, I did not plan this because our guy Eugene, who runs our social media, gave me this because he works at Cook's. But On Friday, we're going to be at Cook's eating lunch with Kelly, but that's not what we're talking about right now. We'll talk about that a little later, and then in Game 2 as well. Right now, just a few things I've noticed from today. First off, not the biggest crowd here, but hey, that's kind of fine. It's more intimate today, it seems like. It really is a special, fun time to watch baseball. We got a few young fans coming in right now. They're looking good. He's waving. He's wearing a Kevin Love Cavaliers jersey. Oh, that's from a while back. But yeah, it's really, really exciting to watch this. And who's on deck now for Harwich, you're going to see him lead off in the bottom of the second, as kind of weird as this is Nico Cavadas out of Notre Dame. He was in the Home Run Derby on Sunday and got a chance to talk with him on Sunday when I interviewed him. The kid can bomb. He had 11 home runs in 2 minutes. So when he's up against Adam Seminaris next inning, be on the lookout because the guy has absolute raw power. He can really hit the ball. It's going to be fun to watch him go up there, and this is going to be a fun game, guys.
Thank you, Scott. I'd love to see you hit 11 home runs in 2 minutes. I know I can. I don't know if you can.
No way I can. I can hit 0 home runs in 2 minutes.
First pitch in there to strike one to Shea Wickham. 0-1 fastball once again just misses the outside corner for ball one. Count a ball and a strike. Wickham made a nice dive on the defensive side of things just the last half inning to retire the speedster Joey Weimer. 1-1 skips into the dirt. Too far inside. Count 2 balls and a strike on Wickham. Guy who's seen his average rise quite a bit here in the last 2 weeks. Was around 280, but 0 for 4 last game. Broke his 6-game hitting streak. 2-1, a pitch is looped out towards shallow center field. Weimer stepped in a couple steps, now will move back. Cam Soner for the first out. So Wickham is retired. Start things off here in the top of the second inning. Still a scoreless ball game from Eldridge Park. As the catcher, Rob Emery, digs some dirt in from the right side, digs his back right foot in. Again, Emery batting 6th tonight. He'll be followed by Tanner Murray, the shortstop, who's on deck. First pitch to Emery. Takes a first pitch fastball. Just a bit up and out for ball one. Again, Jacob Polish on the hill for the Mariners. As the 1-0. Off speed, cut on a miss. Emery is fooled by that one. Count a ball and a strike. Polish, a guy that he fastball touched around 89 to 91. Curve, slider change. He's got them all. 1-1. Fastball tardy on his Emery. Just sends it down the first base side on towards the hill. Got 1 ball and 2 strikes. As Scotty mentioned, a little bit lighter crowd here at Eldridge Park. Then again, it's a nice day. I would have gone to the beach today, not going to lie, if I was a young kid on vacation here. The 1-2. Off speed sent down the right side, but will trickle foul as it takes a couple hops towards the hill. Count remains 1-2. One-two fastball runs upstairs. Kenneman's up at 2-2. One down here in the top of the second inning. Nobody on for the Birds as they try to strike first. Polish 6-5 on the mound. It's a 2-2 breaking ball in the dirt, blocked by the catcher, Winkle. Count runs full at 3-2. And a couple tall pitchers on this team. Joe Boyle as well. He touched 100 in the All-Star game on Sunday, 6'7". Just a demeaning presence on the mound. A payoff pitch. Curveball inside corner, strike 3 call. Polish throws the changeup and gets Emery looking. He thought about it. That's a tough pitch to hit.
Already the 3rd strikeout for Polish. He's really looking sharp on the mound. Really just made 1 bad pitch so far tonight. Came up and in on Zach Britton.
So Polish has looked spectacular once again. 2 down here at the top of the second. Tanner Murray, the shortstop, rolls the pants up to show the Red Sox here. Taps home plate twice. Polish works quickly the first pitch. Fastball just misses the outside corner at 91 for ball 1.
Thomas, it's remarkable after the weather yesterday that we are playing 2 games at Eldridge Park. Bourne and Hyannis canceled today.
1-0 is lifted out of play down the first base side. Count a ball and a strike. Now Hyannis, as I mentioned, did have 90-mile-an-hour winds yesterday. And Hyannis's town, city, one of Barnstable County in general, just does not hold well and water-wise. 1-1 off speed, wave and a miss for strike 2. Count 1-2. Fortunately, there's nothing they can do. It's just the landscape they got, and it doesn't help either when it was about 9,500 degrees with the humidity And then all of a sudden you get all this rain. 1-2 set on the ground towards the third baseman. Toronto fields it on a 2-hop. Throw across the diamond is in time for the third out of this second inning. So Polish works a 1-2-3 second inning. After 1.5, it's still a scoreless ball game between the Firebirds and the Mariners. Check out some highlights from the Firebirds' last win.
There's the 0-2. Fastball smacked the other way into deep right field. Mosley ranging back, turned around, leaps, makes the grab in front of the fence. Tagging from third base is Eddie McCabe. He'll score without a throw, and it's 1-0 in favor of the Orleans Firebirds on a sac fly by Zach Daniels. 0-2. Fastball dots the inside corner, taken for strike 3. 90 miles an hour on the gun, freezes Ian Fair, and the side is retired.
Uskemp set, looks back towards second, kicks and fires. The 1-0 pitch is hit high. They're out towards left field. Backtracking is Halver looking up. This ball is way out of here. Zach Daniels, a 2-run blast. That one might have hit it into the water just down there. That's how far. We'll have to get a tape measure on that one.
Third baseman out of FAU, runner going. First pitch, fastball taken inside corner. Throw down from Avidia in time. Trevor Halver tried swiping second. Avidia throws a strike on the money, and the side is retired. Here's the pitch. Fastball hit squarely back up the middle. Past the dive of the shortstop, Jordan Westberg, into center field for a base hit. Wild pitch comes back to Hyannis. McCabe.
Latter half of the second inning from Eldridge Park. It will be Cavanis, Dylan Noyes, the second baseman, and Pat Winkle, the three manners, due up here in this bottom of the second inning. Seminaris yielded 2 hits in that first, but used a double play and another ground out to get out of the inning. So Cavanis, big presence from the left side. First pitch, Osby just misses down on the zone for ball 1. Last time Nico Cavanis was here, he was competing in the home run hitting contest here on Sunday during the All-Star game. A couple All-Stars in the starting lineup for the Mariners as well, as the 1-0 is rolled over towards the third base dugout. Coach Agarboat using the clipboard to knock that ball down. Count a ball and a strike.
Coach Agarboat shown some good hands this summer on a lot of foul balls.
I've seen a couple nice plays down there. Jamie Quinn. Saw a little Matt Troop action last time. The 1-1. Fastball right to the knees for strike 2. Seminaris is ahead 1-2. Gavanis, unfortunately, did not record a base hit on Sunday, but did work a walk. Did finish third in the home run derby as well. Seminaris from the lineup, the 1-2. Off speed, cut on a miss for strike 3. Gets Cavanis swinging at a pitch out of the zone. And there's one down here in the top of the second. Good breaking ball action. It's tough for Cavanis, a left-hander. Breaking ball is going to start in the zone, and Adam is going to finish well out. Perfectly placed pitch there. So with one down, it's the second baseman from Texas Tech, Dylan Noisy. A little bit of open stance from the right side. First pitch showing bunt. Off misses down in the zone for ball 1. McCabe, the third baseman, playing behind the bag. First baseman Escaro behind the bag as well. The 1-0, showing bunt once again. Osby misses low and in for ball 2, count 2-0. Noisy currently on a 3-game hit streak, has 5 of his 10 hits so far this year in those 3 games. 2-0. Goes right back to the changeup, catches the knees for strike 1. Count 2 balls and a strike. At his best game of the year, just a few nights back, NYD, 3 for 4 with 2 home runs and 5 RBIs. A 2-1 off speed is slapped into the netting on the first base side. Count 2-2. And also has a 2 for 4 game against the Firebirds. So Noisy trying to continue that success here at Eldridge Park is the 2-2. Fastball inside corner, just missing a bit too low. Rob Emery trying to do the best he could to pitch frame that one. So count runs full at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Seminaris kicks and fires the payoff. Fastball just missing upstairs for ball 4. Noisy paused for a second before he dropped the bat, almost like He thought he was getting punched out, but then jogs down the first base line.
Yeah, that's really tough for Adam Seminaris. Threw 2 brilliant pitches with 2 strikes, neither of them called for strike 3. To your point, Dylan Noisy probably thought it was strike 3 for a second. Didn't know if to drop the bat or not.
So with 1 down, Pat Winkle, the catcher from UConn, stands in from the left side. So Seminaris will work from the stretch for the first time in this half inning. Seminaris fires towards zone. Fastball just elevated a bit too high there above the letters for ball 1. Again, for the Mariners in these 7-inning ball games, it's really, if you can get a couple runs on the board early, it's a recipe for success. 1-0 from Seminaris, but he'll fire over towards first base to check on the runner in Dylan Noisy. Back in standing.
Well, Harwich this year is 7-1 in games less than 9 innings. There's something about those shortened games that the Mariners just find their way. It's probably because they have very sharp pitching, and you get a timely hit, you can win a game 1-0.
Seminaris long pause on the mound, the 1-0 fastball. Wave and a miss for strike 1. Winkle couldn't quite catch up to the pitch up in the zone. And Noisy guy on first base, 5 for 6 in stolen bases this year. And we saw the first time we were at White House Field, the Mariners scored first and lost their lead. Back over to first base is Seminaris, almost able to nab Noisy over there. Didn't read it right away. Seminaris once more will take a good look down there and throw it over. Noisy reads it this time and back in. So last time back in Harwich scored first in the first, but then they'll lose that ball game 5-1. Then the next night at Eldridge, Harwich scored 2 in the top of the second before the Firebirds would go on to score 7 unanswered. 1-1's in there for strike 2, count 1-2. Noisy off of first base, 1 down here in the top of this, or gonna be bottom of the second. Still a scoreless ball game from Eldridge Park. There's the 1-2, Noisy going off, gets the runner back to Scarrett, down to second, and they got him. Noisy's picked off as Seminaris throw to first base. Noisy off on the pitch. And Scarrett throws a bullet down to second base, and Tanner Murray applies the tag.
Yeah, it just looked like Noisy was going on first movement from Seminaris. The problem for the Harwich Mariners second baseman is that first movement was over to first base and just had Noisy by a mile.
So count 1-2, Seminaris from the stretch. 1-2 dribbled out towards the second baseman. Wickham comes charging in, sets his feet on the first in time. So Noisy's walk goes to no avail as it gets picked off. Mariners, no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. After 2, it's still a scoreless ball game from Eldridge Park. As we're going to send it to break here at Eldridge. Listen to Firebirds Baseball on the Birds Broadcast Network.
Hey, welcome back here into Eldridge Park. Scotty Gange alongside Orleans manager Kelly Nicholson. Coach, first time since 2004 there's been an all-star game here at Eldridge. How cool is that?
Yeah, it's cool. I think it's a great, obviously I think it's the best venue on the Cape, and if you're going to have an all-star game on the Cape, I don't think you can pick a better place than Eldridge.
Mm-hmm. You said it, you know, it's all the best players on the Cape are out here today. To be kind of a guy watching them warm up and do all that thing and work with all these great players today, how much fun are you having?
Yeah, it's fun. We just talked, you know, it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
It's already been a long day and the game hasn't started, but it's fun. It's nice to have these guys from Chatham and Brewster and Whiting and Harwich on our side.
Yeah.
Because there's obviously some very good players, and it's going to be fun watching them play tonight.
I know for me, you know, seeing a lot of the guys from the other teams, I've kind of been surprised by how personable all these guys are, that guys that are kind of just faces to us. What have you been surprised about today?
I don't think there's been any real surprises other than it's hot, man. It's just
You're
hot.
telling me.
God dang it. But yeah, no surprises so far. It's been very well organized, and the brunch was good, and BP was good, and in-and-outs are going well. We're getting ready for the home run derby, and I guess in about an hour and 15 minutes we'll have first pitch. So it's been a good day.
Top of the third action from Eldridge Park. Still a scoreless ball game. Thomas Cinderella now joined alongside Scotty Gaines
Yeah,
here
baby.
on the Birds Broadcast Network. Make an appearance here for the third inning. First pitch to Eddie McKay misses, low and out for ball one. Count 1-0. Jacob Polish on the hill for another inning.
Thomas, what a special day it is here, buddy. We're
Little-
back in action. Come on now, get the
little-
headsets on.
A little steamy down here as the 1-0 off speed just misses the outside corner. Count 2-0. So the Firebirds trying to get the bats going. Polish 2-0. Fastball once again just misses the outside corner. Count 3-0.
You just said it was steamy, Thomas. Do you see the brand new tarp we have over us? Come on now.
Scott, if we were like a foot back, I think that would be perfect. As a 3-0 in there at the knees for strike one and count 3-1. Now, Scotty, I'm in the sun 24/7. I mean, I'm not complaining a lot of time.
Golf. We talk about it all the time.
3-1 pitch misses upstairs ball for McCabe. Works a leadoff walk here in the third as the Firebirds look to, again, get the first run on the board. Scott, all I'm saying is I will never probably see you at a golf course then.
Thomas, you don't want to see me at a golf course. I told you this. When I golf, I always win because I score the most points.
You're like a three-point specialist then on the putting green then, I'm guessing.
I will destroy everybody in number of points.
So Zach Daniels, a big slugger from Tennessee from the right side. First pitch, fastball. Hits it out towards center field. Weimer on the run out of right center, makes the catch. As McCabe has to trot back towards first base, but Daniels homer back in Hyannis. First pitch swinging. Got a good piece of wood on that one. But right at the speed center fielder, Joey Weimer.
Zach Daniels is a guy that I've said it a number of times. He's got to be the best athlete on the Cape League. I feel like he can probably dunk a ball through his legs, hit a home run farther than anybody on the team, and then he's the fastest guy on the team. He ran a 6'2", 60. I mean, he's an out-of-this-world type of athlete.
Yeah, I don't think my 60 would be around that time, that's
oh,
for
no.
sure.
More like 9'5", Thomas.
Zach Kokoska showing bunt there. First pitch down in the zone.
You know what would be funny? If we got you to go out there and raise Zach Daniels, just to see what it would look like.
It was funny because after Hurtabe's 4 stolen base game, my dad joked around and said, yeah, you should race him around the base. I said, yeah, he'll probably lap me. The 1-0, showing bunt once again, pops it up in the air as I'll go towards the Mariners dugout on the third base side. Count a ball and a strike. One down here in the top of the third inning.
That's a special segment, Hard 90 with Thomas Cinderella. You start on first. We get some of the fastest guys at home, and if you can make it home before, then you win.
Yeah, I really don't know about that. I don't know about that, Scotty.
Don't know about that one, Jim.
The 1-1 fastball inside corner at the bell. Kokoska did not like that one. Got a ball and 2 strikes. By the way, Zach Kokoska, big spicy chicken nugget fan. I found that out.
Yeah, oh yeah. Big Wendy's 4-for-4 guy.
Yeah, guy.
Not hashtag not an ad.
Well, there's a Wendy's banner out here somewhere along Eldridge Park as the 1-2. Time is called by the home plate umpire, Russ Chapman, as Polish went over towards first base, but time was called. Now, the whole spicy chicken nugget, the way that came around was...
Are you going to give the backstory here?
Well, because they got rid of it. It's like, and then the 1-2 curveball misses downstairs, count 2-2.
I'm interested.
Well, it was something along, I think it was Drake, retweeted a tweet because someone asked how many retweets is it going to take to get the spicy chicken nuggets back, and it was Chance the Rapper, Alec Hendon, our beat writer, telling me.
Stop eavesdropping, Alec.
And so they got to start the retweets because Chance retweeted it. 2-2 pitches, clubbed down to the first base dugout. Firebirds Blair taking cover down there. Might have been
Tanner Murray.
Tanner Murray was on the railing, and then the ball came at him, and he got out in a hurry. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Polish from the stretch. Looks back. McCabe over at first. He comes set now. Snapped over towards first. McCabe just gets his left foot back in, standing.
So the spicy chicken sandwich at Wendy's. I mean, I'm not really much of a Wendy's guy. Is that something that people like, or did it go away?
Well, chicken nuggets. It's the chicken nuggets.
Oh,
I don't like spicy nuggets. 2-2. Fastball up in the zone. Kokoska just fights it off behind the dish here.
I don't even like nuggets at all because the thing is, when you look how do you get chicken nuggets? That's disgusting.
I don't know, Scotty. I see a lot of other food. I'm like, where do they get this from? And I'm not sure if I want to touch
like,
that.
honey.
0-2 pitch from Polish. McCabe going down towards second. Pitch in there for strike three. Down to second. McCabe, he's in. So McCabe takes second at base. Kokoska goes down looking, and there are 2 down here in the third. Well, speaking of that, I saw that there was, I'm sure you remember the movie Super Size Me.
Oh yeah, that was a fun movie. I watched that in like 7th grade. We had to watch it.
Well, they're making a second one, and the same guy's back, but he's not eating fast food or McDonald's for a month. I would, like, you can feel it too if you eat like it twice a week. You're like, gross. I don't want it.
Well, that's disgusting.
First pitch, wave and a miss for strike one. Fastball at the letters on Zach Britton.
So you know why he was able to get healthy again, right?
He probably just ate kale for like a week.
His wife, or maybe his girlfriend at the time, was a vegan. Like, talk
Oh.
about a soulmate.
Scotty's looking for that.
Seriously. If I'm ever thinking of eating McDonald's for a month, a beautiful vegan person, I don't know. Could happen.
Never know you can meet on Kit Kat either.
You never know.
David Robertson met his wife at the Irish pub in Harwichport here on the Cape. I think I told you that yesterday. 0-1 curveball outside the corner for strike 2, 0-2 on the right fielder, Zach Britton. Britton was hit by a pitch back in the first. McCabe over at second base with 2 down here at the top of the third. Still a scoreless ballgame from Eldridge Park. Britton waves the bat back towards Jacob Polish. He comes set. Glances in to the catcher, Pat Winkle. The 0-2. Fastball, outside edge, strike 3. Britton hangs around in the batter's box, but 3 good pitches. Able to retire Zach Britton. And the inning ends on back-to-back punch-outs looking for Jacob Polish. He's got 5 in this ball game after 2.5. It's still a scoreless ball game from Eldridge Park, and we'll keep it right here on the Birds broadcast network.
Thomas, I'm going to give you a bit of a shout-out here. On the last inning, you thought you were going to toss it to me, but little did you know I'm right behind you. And for all the Firebirds family listening, Thomas, one of the best lines of the year, and we have to showcase it. Thomas goes, so we're going to send it to, thinking he's going to say to Scotty, looks behind, I'm like, no. We're going to send it to Break here on the, that was, dude, come on. Round of applause.
Scott,
Alec.
Scotty,
come on now.
2 things, but I'm my own talking points now.
Okay.
Like,
Yeah.
They weren't supposed to know that. And then 2, that's
It's
why
all about welcoming the viewer in.
that's why I get the big bucks.
I know. That's why they pay you the big bucks.
That's why they pay me the big bucks.
Thomas is on a 6-figure summer contract here.
Yeah.
Little did you know.
I'm gonna have to ask for maybe $1 million or something. Gonna have to ask Paige Thompson about that. I'm waiting on my $1 million. So home half of the third inning from Eldridge Park. Mariners and Firebirds knotted up at 0-0. It'll be the 8-9-1 due up for the Mariners. Riley Tirada, the third baseman, will start things off from the right side. Tirada played for the Red Sox a little bit earlier in the year and has now changed sides. A Nathan Hale-esque Benedict Arnold, if you want to call it. Then again, Jacob Hurtubise will start in game 2, former Mariner.
That's so fun.
First pitch fastball, outside corner for strike 1 on Riley Tirada. Adam Seminaris so far. Perfect second inning after he issued a 1-out walk to Dylan Noisy. Picked him off though. 0-1. Fastball, wave and a miss for strike 2. Count no balls and 2 strikes on Tirada.
So I know Jacob Hurtubise, he spent time with the Mariners, and then he actually, I don't know if it was before or after his time with the Mariners, but the guy spent like 10 days in the woods with a backpack.
Yeah, military training.
Oh,
he did tell me that, yeah. My brother did that down in Kentucky and all the heat down there. 0-2, but Tirada calls time. Yeah,
I'm
it's not
all
fun.
for camping.
And you can't use your phone or anything. You're on literally radio silence. Yeah. So I didn't hear.
Can you even listen to the Birds Broadcast Network?
You can't. I texted my brother, and then I forgot he was down there, and I got a message back like 2 weeks later. And I was like, whoops. 0-2
Really?
fastball up and in, misses for ball 1. Count 1 and 2.
See, that really is amazing. Like, you know, especially now. I mean, I'm on my phone all day, but thinking of that, not really even that, but just being on your own in the woods like that for 10 days.
Oh, it's tough. I love camping, but I don't know if I could do it for 2 weeks.
I don't like camping, so I could not even do that for a day.
Oh, Scotty, you're missing out. 1-2. Off spin to the dirt, blocked by the catcher, Rob Emery. Count evens up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Now, Scotty, there are no mountain lions around these parts, just to let you know. If someone tells you there's a mountain lion.
Couple deers.
A lot of deers, a lot of turkeys. There are bears out here.
When I saw a turkey on the road on Cape Cod for the first time.
I was with you, and you were going bananas, and I'm like, Scotty, it's a turkey.
That was Banana Land. It really was.
2-2 fastball inside the corner, just missing as Toronto walks around of Kelly Nicholson and the rest of the coaching staff on the first base dugout. Thought it was pretty good.
There's been a number of pitches that have looked like strike 3. I know there's 2 in his first walk last inning, and that one too. I'm wearing the red polo, I know, but I'm just saying neutrally, he's hitting his spots.
Payoff pitch. Off speed, wave and miss for strike 3. Seminaris goes to the junk and gets Toronto swinging. And a pitch at the ankles. So one down here in the top of the third, nobody aboard for the Mariners. It's the 9-holder, the shortstop from LSU, Hal Hughes. Just finished his sophomore year down there on the Bayou. Started 63 games as a freshman in the SEC. I think it's pretty impeccable. First pitch inside half of the plate for strike 1 on Hughes.
He's got to be tired. 63 starts coming out to the Cape and playing here too. And then I know all these guys go play in the fall as well.
Exactly. 0-1, fastball, same pitch, same spot, same result, 0-2. A little bit of a Birds connection here as well. His dad is Pete Hughes, head coach at Kansas State, of course. Zach Koska.
Thomas, you know all the Birds connections. It's amazing.
0-2 pitch is roped right at the shortstop, Tanner Murray. So Hughes got a good piece of one on it, but right at Tanner Murray for a loud second out. Scott, I like finding those little nitpicky type of things.
Again, that's why they pay you the big bucks.
Like today, the national anthem singer was a Providence College.
Oh, it's a good day to be a Friar.
So,
really
I had at the end of it, I said, go Friars.
I know. I like how she's half a second done with the national anthem. You're already screaming out to her, "Go Friars!"
And she liked it. First pitch fastball at the knees for strike 1 on Daniel Cabrera, the leadoff hitter for the Mariners, another LSU Tiger.
She did like it, but sometimes you got to give her like 2 seconds to kind of take in the moment. Like,
if you ever been to Friartown, you'll notice everybody's the same like that.
That's the difference.
You got to come. 0-1 fastball at the knees on the outside corner this time. Seminary spots it there once again, 0-2. 2 down here on the top of the third inning, nobody aboard for the Mariners, bottom of the third.
Seminaris really is a fun guy to watch. He's always just so locked in when he's up on the mound.
0-2. Fastball misses the outside corner, count 1-2. And we found out last time about a week ago that him and Zebulon watched a little movies on their off day.
What kind of movies?
And they watched, I lost track of it now.
Oh.
1-2 fastball just punched.
Then why even mention it, Thomas?
It was the one with Bradley Cooper, the singing one. What's it called? I can't think of it.
With Lady Gaga.
Yeah, there's the song Shallow in there. What is it?
Oh my gosh.
I can't think of it.
Something Star.
Star is Born.
Star is Born.
1-2 fastball, reach for strike 3. And Cabrera goes down swinging. Seminaris, perfect through 3, strikes out 2 in this half inning. Mariners don't strike on the board after 3. It's still a scoreless ball game from Eldridge Park as Scotty, you're here, so Josh White will be doing the inaugural.
It's because we're talking about A Star is Born.
Exactly.
Kelly Nicholson is coming out of the shallow now.
Come
on, baby.
That is it. So Josh White is alongside Kelly Nicholson. We're going to send it over to you.
Thank you, Thomas and Scotty. Skip, good 3 innings from Adam Seminaris. What's working for him out there?
Well, he's got command of 3 pitches tonight, or this afternoon, just like their guy does. So that's why we don't see any runs on the board.
We're at Eldridge Park, but you guys are the road team. How weird does that feel today?
Yeah, it's a little bit weird. It was just a little bit weird at the beginning, but I think once the game started and we got past that first at bat, everything stays the same.
7-inning game, doubleheader. What's the strategy moving forward the last 4 innings?
Yeah, play for a run. We're going to play for runs, all right? Short games. It goes fast.
Thanks, Skip. Best of luck.
Right, you bet. Thanks, John.
Back to you guys.
And thank you, Josh. So we'll send a nice farewell to Scotty Gaines here, unfortunately. It was fun while it lasted. Well, now we know for Kel Nicholson that A Star is Born, and He
Come
was
on,
shallow.
man.
He was shallow down. You said he came out of the shallows.
Is
Scotty.
it a Star is Born theme day?
I mean, it could be. It's a Star is Born theme night here at
All
Eldridge
right.
Park.
Every time you can get a Star is Born connection in there, I'll give you a quarter into the game tonight.
Quarter, so
Yeah.
I might be coming home rich tonight.
Maybe you might get up
Buy
to like
my-
$1.50.
Maybe you could buy me some lobster roll or something from around here. We'll go high end.
Hey, Thomas, thanks for having me on, man.
Thanks, Scotty, as always. As Max Trani will lead things off for the Firebirds. First pitch misses low and outside for ball one. Top of the fourth here from Eldridge Park. It's the Firebirds and the Mariners knotted up at 0-0. 1-0 pitch is laced out towards the second baseman. Too hot by Noisy. Corrals it. Throw on a first is in time. And tries retired. First out here in the fourth. Firebirds so far still searching for their first base hit in this ball game. Only person to reach so far, or two people to reach, Zach Britton in the first with a hit by pitch, and Eddie McCabe with a walk last inning. So Polish has looked pretty good so far on the hill. As the first pitch of Trevin Escara, curveball, hit high in the air towards right field. The right fielder Cabrera backing up a few steps and makes the catch for out number 2. So it's taken 3 pitches so far, and Polish has retired the first 2 Firebirds. And top of the fourth action, nobody aboard, 2 down, as Whitcomb will have a chat with Jamie Quinn, the third base coach and offensive coach here for the Firebirds. Lengthy conversation down there as Polish has been cruising through his Firebirds orders so far. Polish so far, 35 strikes, 15 balls, and 50 pitches through 3 2/3. Again, a guy that came in with a .123 ERA with a 3-1 record. First pitch to Shea Whitcomb from the right side, a curveball that skips in the mid of Pat Winkle. Seeing a short inning like this is where you need a guy like Trevor Halver from Hyannis who sees at least, I want to say at least 5 or 6 pitches each AB. He is a walks machine. 1-0 fastball is pushed down to the first base side and out of play over towards the top of the hill. Count a ball and a strike. One ball and 1 strike to count on Shea Whitcomb. Polish kicks and deals. The 1-1 check swing on a pitch up and out, but Whitcomb holds up. Count 2 balls and a strike on Shea Whitcomb here on the top of the fourth, 2 down. Polish kicks and fires, 2-1 a pitch, off speed. Leave it a miss for strike 2 as Whitcomb got a piece of it but fouls it into the mitt of Winkle. So a Chris Sale slider S pitch right there from the left-hander. Finished almost behind Shea Whitcomb. Of course, Chris Sale was on the hill for the Red Sox yesterday against the Tampa Bay Rays. 2-2 fastball runs up and out. Count is full at 3-2. Good AB being worked here by Shea Whitcomb. We've already seen 5 pitches, 6. The 6th pitch coming up next. The payoff pitch. Fastball off the mitt of Polish, out towards the shortstop. Hughes fields it. Throw on to first. It's in time. So a line drive missile off of Polish's mitt skips right to Hal Hughes, who throws a bullet to first, and Whitcomb is retired here in the 4th. So the Firebirds go down to 1-2-3 as Whitcomb is robbed of a base hit after 3.5. It's the Firebirds and the Mariners tied up at 0-0. Listen to Firebirds baseball on the Birds Broadcast Network.
The Cape Cod Chamber of Commerce, Highline Cruises, Sports Picks, On Deck Sports, Barnstable Bath.
It's definitely been a summer that I'll never forget.
I know the relationships have been so special for you. How much fun has that been for you to make these relationships with guys from across the country?
Well, when you get to sit in a bullpen for 9 innings with a guy from UNC or a guy from Loyola Marymount, like it's definitely you're forced to make friends out there.
Yeah, you better make friends with those guys.
Yeah,
Huh?
if not, it's gonna be a long 9 innings. But no, for all the guys that I've met up here have been just great guys, and like that's what we did. Like in our mind up thing today, we did. It was like, what is the goal that you want after this summer with your team? And it's like to create like a lifelong friendship with people, and like I truly believe that I've definitely made some of those.
Still a scoreless ball game. We'll send over to Scotty Gaines. We're going to send over to Scotty Gaines quickly. Talk a little about the birds. Some bird bites.
Leading off for the Mariners, number 36.
Scotty not home out there on the hill, but we'll get back to him at a sooner date. So bottom of the fourth inning, Chris Gallen will start things off for the Mariners. Left fielder out of Boston College will face Adam Seminaris. First pitch from Seminaris. Fastball that comes up with the letters for strike one. Gallen grounded to a double play back in the first inning. After Cabrera started off with a leadoff single. 0-1. Curveball down in the zone and in the dirt. Hits off the forearm of Rob Emery, trickles back towards the backstop. Count a ball and a strike. Gallen's been on a tear as of late. Probably the hottest bat on this Mariners lineup. 1-1 scooped in. It's scooped up by Rob Emery. Count 2-1. Gallen currently on a 5-game hitting streak. Over that stretch is 11 for 20, batting .555. 7 RBIs and 4 stolen bases as well. A 2-1. Fastball just misses a bit too far inside. Count 3-1. Seminary so far has yielded just 1 walk back in the second to Dylan Noisy. Walked 3 in his last start. That's only 3 hitters he's walked all year. 3-1 pitch misses down the zone for ball 4, and Gallen starts off the fourth with a walk.
Number 21, the designated hitter from the University of Connecticut, Christian Fedko.
So Christian Fedko, the DH, takes from the right side for the second time. He singled back in the first as well, but was stranded over there. Seminaries from the stretch. First pitch over towards first. They got him on a rundown. Throw from Esquero down towards second. Murray trying to run him down. Back to Esquero. Throws it back on a second for Whitcomb, and Whitcomb applies a tag on Gallant. As got him on a rundown, and Gallant is picked off. That's the second base runner that has been picked off in this ball game. Seminaris picked off Noisy back in the second, and now Gallant here in the fourth. Seminaris has done a good job tonight in keeping the Mariners at bay on the base paths. So, for the second time today, Seminaris has walked a runner, but then has picked him off. 1 down here in the fourth. First pitch, fastball misses above the letters for ball 1 to Christian Fetko. So nobody aboard now for the Mariners as Seminaris will work back on the top of the rubber from the windup. The 1-out. Fastball once again just tails a bit too high there. Count 2-out. Fetko just finished his sophomore at UConn, was freshman All-American in his freshman season. 2-0 from Seminaris. Fastball once again just doesn't come down enough. Count 3-0. Hunter Goodman from Memphis, who plays for Hyannis. Player of the Year candidate out in the AAC conference. Of course, UConn moving over to the Big East. Not this spring, but the following spring. A 3-0. Fastball is pushed out towards left field. Will touch the outfield grass for a base hit as Kokoska plays it on 2-up. And Fetko picks up his second base hit in this ball game. He's aboard with 1 down in the fourth. So Fetko so far has collected 2 of the now 3 base hits for the Mariners. He continues to stay hot at the dish as another all-star for Harwich, Joey Weimer, digs in from the right side of center field. They're grounded out to Shea Whitcomb in the first. I mean, a nice grab on the ball. First pitch from Seminaris, a fastball. Misses a bit too far in for ball 1. Weimer with the gold hair sporting out the backside of the red batting helmet. Just waves the bat above his head, the 1-0. Fastball misses above the letters, 2-0. Seminaris so far, 28 strikes, 20 balls. It has been his sharpest control outing, as now Rob Emery will jog out towards the pitcher's mound. Left-hander warming in the, right-hander warming in the bullpen for the Firebirds. Looks to be David Steele out there out of Northeastern, as Emery continues to chat with Seminaris.
Now, the pitcher management load-wise will be interesting to see for the Firebirds moving forward, because you had the off day, you had the All-Star game, but you have 12 games in 9 days, including 10 versus your division rivals. So it's going to be interesting to see what the Firebirds do. They activated Justin Showalter from James Madison. He'll get a start, it seems like, in a few days.
A couple new players making their way to the Firebirds squad as a 2-0 pitch. Home run Hacken as Weimer. Pitch and miss almost behind him once again. Count 2 balls and a strike. The Firebirds coaches on the first base dugout liking what they're seeing from Seminaris here. Seminaris comes set, takes a deep breath. Fire towards the dish, the 2-1 fastball. Once again, tails upstairs, count 3-1. So Seminaris, who hasn't pitched since July 9th, making his first start here in this game 1 of the doubleheader. The 3-1. Off-speed changeup just misses the kneecaps for ball 4. So Weimer works a walk here with 1 down. Runners on first and second now for the Mariners, as Matt Troop will take a walk out towards the pitcher's mound and have a chat with the southpaw from Long Beach State.
Seminaris' 3rd walk of the day, and command was never a problem for Seminaris. He's doubled his total for this summer. You got to imagine, Thomas, that it's inevitable that he's starting to get a little more tired than he was at the start of the summer. 94 innings this past spring at Long Beach State, and now he's upwards of 23 innings on the Cape. You'd have to imagine that the command will teeter off just a touch, but he's still very sharp. Again, once again on the Cape, and keeping Harwich team that when you look up and down 1 through 9, they got some of the best hitters on the Cape.
Yeah, they definitely do have some of the best hitters on the Cape, and the guy coming up right now, Nico Cavanis, the first base from Notre Dame. Guy who leads the Cape with 8 home runs. And he's got an RBI opportunity right now with runners on first and second, just 1 down here in the 4th. Again, Harwich, the home team here at Eldridge Park, bottom of the 4th inning from Miss Eldridge. As Cavas, the left-hander, faces the left-hander, Adam Seminaris. Seminaris got him swinging in the first AB to strike out. First pitch from Seminaris. Fastball, perfectly placed on the outside corner for strike 1. So far, whatever Matt Troop and Emery talked about on the pitcher's mound must have worked so far. Seminaris digs his back, left-footed and up against the rubber. We're closer to the 3rd base side. Seminaris comes set, looks back over towards second, fires towards home. 0-1. Pitch missed a little bit up, there and out. Count a ball and a strike.
Now remember, Seminaris, as good as Cavadas has been, it's not a knock on him. As good as Seminaris has been, however, he's only given up 2 hits against left-handers this summer. 1 came back to lead off the 1st inning.
Arizona first and second, 1 down. The 1-1. Fastball, wave and miss for strike 2. Cavadas wanted all of that one. Let's see, trying to elevate him. As he reshaps the batting gloves from the left side. Count 1 ball and 2 strikes. Fetko off a second, Weimer over at first base. Again, a 1 down here in the bottom of the 4th inning. It's a 0-0 ball game. A 1-2 pitch. Off-speed reached for it, poked out towards straightaway center field. Daniels on the run, fields it, throw down towards home. Play at the plate, not in time as Emery scoops of the ball just a hair too late. And the Mariners on the board here off a Nico Cavadas RBI single.
Yeah, who else but Nico Cavadas to deliver for the Harwich Mariners? He has done it all this summer and continues to power this Mariners club. RBI number 27 And he's already third in the Cape. He continues that climb towards the top.
So he tries to catch Hunter Goodman. We mentioned him earlier in this half inning. Goodman leading the Cape with RBIs. There's Dylan Noisy, the second baseman from Texas Tech. Looks to drive in another here. 1-0. Mariners lead here in the bottom of the fourth. First pitch. Fastball that's placed out on home plate area. Count 0-1. Noisy, who worked a walk back in the second, was then picked off. Gallen was picked off after working a walk to start out this half inning. So there's one down, runners on first and second still. Noisy, the 0-1. Shows bunt, bunts it down the third base side. In on the grass, as nothing McCann can do but pick it up. And it's an infield single for Dylan Noisy. So now, danger looming once more. Bases are loaded with just one down. It's the catcher, Pat Winkle.
Thomas, third hit of the inning, fifth of the afternoon for the Mariners. Not a single one has been a hard shot. It's been bunt hits, infield singles, bloop shots into the outfield. Adam Seminaris just some tough luck right now on the hill.
And we see some good hitting here from this Mariners lineup. Seminaris working from the windup first pitch. Fastball, outside edge for strike one on Winkle. Big spot here for Adam Seminaris. He can try to induce a ground ball to get out of this inning. That would be huge. Seminaris from the windup once more. The 0-1. Fastball fouled off towards the backstop. Count 0-2. Seminaris this year. Hitters just 1 for 6. Or excuse me, 3 for 13. So 231 average, runners on scoring position with the bases loaded. Only one shot so far, and he's held the bats at bay. 0-2 from Seminaris. Fastball outside corner, just missing a bit. Bit too high there. Count 1-2.
Yeah, Russ Chapman's had a hitter-friendly strike zone tonight, and that's been a little frustrating for Seminaris trying to paint the corners.
He's like an artist on the mound. The 1-2. Off speed, cut on a miss for strike 3. Winkle goes down fishing on a pitch out of the zone. And Seminaris picks up a big strikeout here with the bases loaded for the second out.
Huge, huge punch out for Seminaris. Got Winkle fishing. He's able to bounce back, and now he's got one more to get through to keep this at just one run in the inning. If he can find a way to keep the Mariners to just one, it's yeoman's work and gives the Firebirds a chance in the final 3 innings.
So it's up to Riley Tirado, the third baseman for the Mariners. He takes a practice hack from the right side. Seminaris once more for the windup, works quickly. First pitch, slow chopper up the third base side. Foul as McCabe picks it up to the left of the third base bag for strike 1. Tirado struck out to start out the third inning. Now makes an appearance here in the fourth to try to drive in a pair of runs for the Mariners. Again, bases loaded, 2 down here in the bottom of the fourth inning. 1-0 Mariners lead. Wind blowing out towards straightaway center field. Trying to dig some dirt around from the right side. Looks at his tan barrel before he nubs it on home plate. 0-1. Off-speed pitch misses low and out. Count a ball and a strike. So Tirado just making his 6th plate appearance here in a Mariners uniform. He made about 50 ABs in a Waddy Red Sox uniform earlier this year. The 1-1. Fastball's fouled back to the dish, to the screen. Count 1-2. Again, Seminaris just trying to limit the damage here in this half inning. 1 run across, bases loaded, 2 down. Seminaris climbs back on the hill. Positions his left foot towards the first base bag. The 1-2 offering. Off speed misses down below the knees. Count 2-2. Fans continue to trickle in here from to Eldridge Park on this Game 1 this doubleheader here on a Wednesday. The 2-2. Fastball comes up and in and plunks Riley Terada on the back left shoulder as he'll walk down the first base side. And another run comes in to score for the Mariners. It's a 2-0 ball game.
Probably the easiest RBI Riley Terada will ever get. It's his first in a Mariners uniform. And that's going to do it for Adam Simoneris, who his last 2 outings hasn't been bad by any stretch of the imagination, just not as sharp as we're used to seeing him. And you got to imagine, again, Thomas, it's just got to be arm fatigue at this point. 94 innings at school, more than 23 on the Cape. And at some point, that arm's going to tire out.
Oh, for sure. And he was good today for about the first 3 innings or so, and has run a little bit of trouble here in the 4th inning. So Simoneris, his afternoon is done here at Eldridge Park. As a new pitcher for the Firebirds will come out. Looks like Angelo Smith, the southpaw from Michigan. So we'll step aside while he warms up here from Eldridge Park. Listen to Firebirds baseball on the Birds Broadcast Network. Inside Eldridge Park. Bases loaded here in the 4th. 2 runs across for the Mariners as, again, Angelo Smith will enter this ball game for the Firebirds. Big spot here with 2 down. Hal Hughes, the 9-0 hitter, the shortstop from LSU, trying to drive in a couple more runs and really open up this ball game. Again, doubleheader, so only 7 innings. Angelo Smith comes set. Kicks and fires. First pitch swinging. Looped out down towards the first base side. Escaro run towards the fence. Gives it a look, but it'll just get onto the hill down there on the first base side. Count 0-1. Smith, the last pitch just 2 days ago in Hyannis. When inning in the 3rd, struck out 2. Now a hit, a run, or a walk. Looks to continue that perfection here in this outing as well. The 0-1. Big Bennett curveball comes up and in for ball 1. Count 1-1. So Cavadas leading off at 3rd, Noisy at 2nd, and Terada, who is hit by a pitch, over at 1st. Simoneris, 3 2/3 so far, allowed 5 hits, struck out 4 and walked 3. The 1-1. Off-speed pitch, outside edge for strike 2. Hughes keeps the bat on the shoulder, and he's down on the count 1-2. So big spot here as the 1-2 pitch is looped out towards shallow right field. Coming in is Britton on the run and makes the catch for the 3rd out of this half inning. But the Mariners strike for 2 runs in this half inning on 3 hits, no errors, and 3 men left on base. We're through 4 innings here at Eldridge Park. It's the Mariners 2 and the Firebirds nothing.
And more than 150
So we'll step aside, listen to Firebirds baseball on the Birds Broadcast Network.
Harwich Mariners would like to thank Franklin Sports for their sponsorship of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Franklin is yet
Thomas,
again-
thank you. Coach, 350 wins. Congratulations. How does it feel right now for you?
Well, hey, it just feels good to get a win, and I was completely unaware of it until you guys made me aware of it, to be honest. Hey, Whitey's good. They've had our number this summer. It was a divisional swing as far as points. So our guys played really well, man. Guys played really well. I don't think anybody expected 15-3, and I thought we were going to have to score some runs tonight to win. But super proud of our guys, man, the way they swung the bats, and some guys threw the ball well tonight. It was nice to see Reed McLaughlin's debut. He did a nice job, and so yeah, it's just good to it's always good to get a win on the Cape. It's hard to win games, man. People don't understand how difficult it is to win games on the Cape. So just extremely proud of our guys.
It was an incredible game tonight by the Firebirds, but this accomplishment is...
Top of the 5th inning from Eldridge Park. It's the Mariners 2, Firebirds nothing, as Rob Emery, the catcher, will start things off. Jacob Polish has been hard to hit so far in this ball game. 4 innings of scoreless baseball. First pitch to Rob Emery, misses up and out of the zone for ball 1, count 1-0. Polish so far, 4 innings, not allowed to hit, just 1 walk and 5 punch-outs. Again, the walk and hit by pitch, the only 2 runners to reach so far. 1 out. Fastball rolled over down the third base side and towards the fence. Count a ball and a strike. So the Mariners on the board here after a hit by pitch. And then a single from Gavatis. A 1-1 to Emery is sky down the first base side. Out towards the top of the hill. Count 1-2. Some breeze starting to pick up here at Eldridge Park here behind home plate. The 1-2. Off-speed pitch is skied out towards straightaway center. Weimer, the center fielder, ranging over towards left center. Can't center it. It makes the grab for a loud out number 1.
Number 41, the shortstop from UC Davis.
So 7 in a row have been retired by Jacob Polish. As Tanner Murray, the shortstop from UC Davis, gets a little limber from the right side. Takes a couple practice swings and does some work to that right-hander's batter's box. First pitch to Murray. Fastball is popped out towards shallow right field. Right fielder Cabrera running towards the line. Goes down there, goes in towards the hill. Umpire running down there to see if he held on to it. The Cabrera... And it looks like it dropped down there in right field.
Wow, what effort from Daniel Cabrera. Not only did he run, he somersaulted over some fans at Eldridge Park. Tip of the cap to Mr. Cabrera. It's just kind of the harm behind it, doesn't make the grab.
And then we get the no good sign from the first base umpire down there. But I've seen a couple catches through the years going in towards the crowd. I know our good friend Logan Rannick, also former Bird broadcaster, also with BK, was on the broadcast a few nights ago back in 2016. Peyton Squire in the right field corner made an impeccable grab towards the hill as the 0-1 is hit on the ground towards the second baseman, Noisy. Doesn't move at all, throw it on the first in time for the second out.
Do we think Logan Raddick's still in the ballpark?
Yes.
You have faith in him today?
I do, and I can try to find him out here, but
I think Brendan King would think that he's not.
I'll have to ask BK. Well, Logan just stayed for 3 innings of the All-Star game, so this is a doubleheader, only 7 innings. Get your baseball and get some food if you want. First pitch to McCabe is hit hard on the one-hopper out towards the third baseman, Terrata. High throw on to first, but applying the tag at first is Cavadas, who nabs McCabe for the third out. So another 1-2-3 inning worked by Polish here. After 4.5, it's the Mariners 2 and the Firebirds nothing. And we're going to send it over to our silent reporter, Scott Gage, to talk about Lunch with Kelly.
Yeah, baby. All right, so this Friday, we're going to be at Cook's Seafood. We've done it before at Nasa Grill, at Land Ho 2. Don't run out of time, Thomas, that's 1 quarter, because look what I found. Another lunch with Kelly, lunches with the Birds. We get to hear all about the program, all about everything. It's just absolutely fantastic. So it's really fun to talk with Kelly. It's fun to talk with the Birds. It's a public forum, so if you're in the town of Orleans, or if you're going to be in the town of Orleans on Friday, it's in the town of Orleans at Cook's Seafood, just about a half-mile down the road from Eldridge Park. It's really, really fun. You can ask the players, ask Coach Kelly any questions you want. You know, lots of the young clinic kids come out there. It's just really cool to hear from all the guys and hear from Kelly about the insides of the program and also their background and their personal stories through baseball. So it's really, really exciting, and I personally can't wait for round 3. So don't run out of time. Maybe it's too late, but don't make me cry. That's 4 more songs from the Lady Gaga A Star Is Born. So Thomas, that's $1, baby. Let's go.
I don't know. This is a two-way battle. I thought it was just me. If I was saying it, then I would get 25 cents. But I guess it will. You can have me for Venmo request later if you want. So back inside Eldridge Park here for the bottom of the 5th inning. Mariners struck for 2 in this half inning. Last time out. So it'll be the 1, 2, 3 hitters for the Mariners. As Cabrera, who somersaulted in towards the crowd just the last half inning, will start things off from the left side. First pitch from Angelo Smith, the fastball that tails up and in for ball 1. Only 7 innings here will be played in both ball games at Eldridge Park. The 1 out. Off-speed dips too far inside as Cabrera backs out of the way. Count 2 and out. Smith takes a deep breath from the windup. The 2 out. Fastball wave and a miss for strike 1. Count 2 and 1. Cabrera 1 for 2 so far today. Singled in the first. As Smith came in to retire the last hitter in this last half inning as the 2-1 pitch comes up and in and hits Daniel Cabrera on the wrist area as he yanks his left arm a few times walking down that line. The first base line trying to rub it off. So Cabrera now over at first base. Nobody down here in the bottom of the 5th inning. It's Chris Gallant, the left fielder from Boston College, who walked his last time out in the 4th.
Number 36, the left fielder from Boston College, Chris
Gallant, his second year for the Mariners, was teammates with Rob Emery last year for about a game. Actually, Gallant might have been gone towards the time when Emery came up, just thinking about that. First pitch fouled off behind the dish for strike 1. Emery was a last, kind of weak kind of guy in the season, and Gallant left Harwich last year a little bit early due to an injury, unfortunately, otherwise he would have been there. Gallant was a temporary guy last year, worked his way to a full-time contract. The 0-1. Fastball runs up and out of the zone, count a ball and a strike.
How ironic is it this year? It was kind of the same thing. He was a temp guy once again, but a very different spring for Chris Gallant as a true freshman shined. Took maybe a step back as a sophomore, but starring once again on the diamond this summer.
The 1-1 runner going towards second base, hit and run in towards the hole. Backhanded by Murray, just knocks it down as it'll trickle down towards the third base side. But Murray keeps it in the infield, and the runner's on first and second with nobody down here in the 5th. And Chris Gallant, a guy that was All-ACC third team his freshman year, made the All-ACC freshman team as well. But again, having 2 good summers here on the Cape continue some wonders. So Christian Fetko, the DH from UConn, taps home plate. Is singled in both his ABs so far, so dangerous spot here for Angelo Smith as he tries to work his way around the first 2 hitters. Fetko's, whose brother Kyler plays over in Bourne. First pitch, fastball outside edge for strike 1. Kind of cool to see if your brother's playing. You grew up playing your brother, obviously, all the time, and then one day you get both guys make it to the Cape Cod, play the Cape League. Pretty cool stuff.
They both play at school together, but it's Christian who has the bragging rights so far this summer.
0-1. Off-speed pitch at the belt once again on the outside corner. Count 0-2.
Christian, obviously an all-star. Kyler, unfortunately for him, not the summer he was looking for, but Christian can go back and say, hey, not only did I hit at UConn, I hit here on the Cape.
Some brotherly rivalry here between both the Fetkill brothers. The 0-2. Fastball is corked out towards right center field. Daniels on the run, makes a leaping grab out there in center, almost overran the ball, but as it tailed up on him, used that athletic body as we were talking about earlier to make the grab for the first out. So one down here in the fifth. Runners on first and second. Another all-star in Joey Weimer comes up to the dish for the Mariners. Digs in towards the backside of LeBron Hender's batter's box. Weimer adjusts his jersey around just a tad here. Whitcomb holding the runner on second and Dana Cabrera on as the first pitch fastball. Tails up and out of the zone for ball one. Weimer walked his last time out back in the fourth, or just last inning. Walked and scored the second run for the Mariners. They lead 2-0 here at Eldridge Park in the bottom of the fifth inning. Runners going for a second as Gallen running towards second, and now he's caught on a pickle between first and second. Charging right at him is Rob Emery. Now throws the ball back to first, almost gets away from Esquera, and after all that, Gallen safely back at first. So he saw Cabrera running for a second to third. Cabrera stopped, and Gallen kept running second.
Joey Weimer looks disheveled at the plate. He just shot a glance back at the home plate umpire, Russ Chapman, saying, "Would you believe it?"
You don't see that every day. As Gallen circumvents the murky waters here in the base paths. And now Weimer ahead of the count, 2-0. Cabrera's on first and second, just one down. A 2-out. Fastball chopped hard down the third base side, but foul as McCable backhanded and foul ground. Count 2-1. Seminary's already picked off two base runners in this ball game. Gallen was one of them back in the fourth. Gallen himself coming in this ball game was 12 for 13 on the base paths. Only caught once, stealing. The 2-1. Fastball brushes off. Weimer behind. So count 3-1. Cabrera over at second base. Gallen at first. One down here in the bottom of the fifth. 2-0. Mariners lead. Try to tack on a couple more insurance runs here. It was a 3-1. Fastball is hit hard out towards straightaway center field. Daniels on the run back there, just shy of the warning track, makes the catch. Cabrera has to re-tag from second. Base throw goes in towards second at Tanner Murray. And there are two down here in the fifth as Cabrera moves up to third base.
Any other ballpark on the Cape, that's probably a home run. At Eldridge Park, it's just a loud outnumbered two. And a good play by Zach Daniels. Read it well off the bat, was able to glide back and get behind the baseball. And it would be interesting to see, Thomas, if at one point a guy makes a catch in straightaway center like that. If someone has enough speed, can they score all the way from second? It's happened before, tagging up from second base, just very, very rare, and hasn't happened at Eldridge Park.
I believe I did see one a couple years ago here at Eldridge Park as Kelly Nicholson comes out. You have a conference with the whole infield on the mound. Especially with the dangerous hitter Nico Cavadas coming out.
Yeah, this is different. Normally it's Matt Troop who makes these types of visits, but in this situation, trailing by two, haven't had much offensively, trying to keep one of the best hitters in the Cape from driving in another run. It's probably a time for Kelly Nicholson to say, hey, whatever the game plan might be, whether it's try and pick off a runner and not even have to face Cavadas or just go right at him.
So home plate umpire Russ Chapman's walking out towards the mound. Trying to break things up down there. Takes the long walk around. And finally breaks up the conference on the mound. Runners on the corners, two down here in the fifth. As the Mariners look to score another run, they scored two in the fourth. As Angelo Smith looks to come out of this inning unscathed. So Nico Cavadas, the power hitting first baseman from Notre Dame, takes a first pitch curveball at the belt for strike one. Cavadas saw was coming right at him. and gave up on it and finished in the zone. Cavanas knocked in the first run. Just last inning, an RBI single. 0-1 from Smith. Off-speed once again, this time too far inside as Cavanas scoots off the dish. Count a ball and a strike on Cavanas. King Cabrera over at third base, Gallant over at first. Smith, the left-hander, looks back at first, fires towards home. The 1-1 curveball. Nice scoop by Rob Emery behind the dish. A lot of movement on it. And blocks it with the glove. Seen both catchers throughout the season, Rob Emery and David Ovidio, work like cats back there and be like brick walls as well. 2-1. Fastball fouled off with the dish as it hits off Cavanas' foot area. So walk out, dangling out his left foot as he restraps the batting glove from the left side, still wiggling the left ankle area around.
We know Kelly Nicholson is big on nicknames. Left Honda, obviously a big one, but he's calling Angelo Smith Jello.
The 2-2. Gallen going off towards second base. Curveball freezes Cavanas in there for strike 3. So Cavanas goes down looking, and the Firebirds get out of this half inning unscathed. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 2 men left on base. We're through 5 here at Eldridge Park, as we're going to send it down to our silent reporter, Scotty Gange. We're not sending it down to Scotty Gange. We're going to send it a break here at Eldridge Park. After 5, it's a 2-0 Mariners lead. Listen to Firebirds baseball on the Birds Broadcast Network.
Okay, if you were to make a Firebirds jersey, a new one, an
okay.
alternate Firebirds jersey.
Okay, I'd go all out on it. You
Okay.
know, I'd take the Firebirds. I'd build the Flames from the bottom. Of course, Flames, because I saw my buddy. He would go. It was in the Northwoods. They had the Star Wars night. Joey, shout out.
And they
Joey.
made Star Wars jerseys.
And they
didn't
made like these kind of cool Star Wars. I'm pretty sure Star Wars. It was like a little Chewbacca, if I remember it correctly.
Yeah.
Of that, so like Firebirds. If it was like one of those nights, I'd build like the flames come from the bottom, and then like some crazy big bird like across the front of it, like with
Wow.
yeah, some along those lines.
Keep going. I need this.
And then I get the back of it. That's where it'd say Firebird, say on the back where like your last name would go.
Nice.
I've had the number down here.
What's the font look like on the back?
The font.
Is it sleek or is it like flames going out of it?
Probably a little sleek design, pretty sharp.
Top of the 6th inning from Eldridge Park. It's the Mariners 2, the Firebirds nothing. Firebirds still searching for their first base hit in this ball game. 9-1-2 drew up for the Firebirds. Zach Daniels will start things off from the right side. Hit a line drive right at the center fielder in Weimer, his first time out back in the 3rd. Polish still working strong from the hill. First pitch curve. Bends in at the knees for strike 1 on the right-hander. Polish so far fired in 45 strikes. The 0-1 curveball hacking at it as Daniels count 0-2. Polish so far 46 strikes, 19 balls, 65 pitches through 5+. Polish winds and fires the 0-2. Off speed, scooped up for strike 3. Catcher Winkle holds on, and Daniels is retired to start things off here in the 6th.
Jacob Polish just has been so dominant against the Orleans Firebirds this summer. 9 strikeouts in 6 innings. The last time he faced the Birds, now he has 6 Ks in 5 1/3. And Kelly Nicholson is just going to try and punch a button and see if a right-hander can get a hit off of Polish rather than Kokoska.
So Josh Samora will pinch hit in this ball game for Zach Kokoska. Samora guy with some pop in that barrel. 2 home runs on the season, both coming against Bourne earlier in the year. Kokoska finishes this game 0 for 2 with 2 punch-outs. Samora played last Saturday in Falmouth against the Commodores. First pitch to Zamora, fastball runs low and out of the zone for ball 1. Zamora out of Nevada. It's the 1-0 curveball. Catches the outside corner for strike one. Got a ball and a strike on Zamora. Again, Firebirds still searching for their first base hit in this ball game. It's been that type of day so far. As the 1-1 fastball just misses. Zamora looked at it for quite a bit, but Russ Chapman doesn't give the call. 2 balls and 1 strike to count. Pitch from Polish, 2-1 is gone out. Upon the dish for strike 2. Let's see what Polish will go with here in his bag of tricks. With the 2-2 pitch. Curveball, wave and miss for strike 3. And Zamora goes down swinging. Back-to-back strikeouts to start out this 6th inning. He's now got 7 in the ball game. He mentioned he had 9 through 6 last time he pitched against the Firebirds. 7 here through 5 and 2.
And I wouldn't be surprised at all if Steve Angler's plan is to just ride Polish the full 7. That pitch count's starting to climb, but he can go deep.
First pitch to Zach Britton, a chopper down the first base side, foul. Especially with a no-hitter going on. You don't want to mess anything up like that. He's at 71 pitches as well, so you could ride him through 7 innings.
Should we say that one more time, a no-hitter going on?
I will say it continually. 0-1 a pitch to Sky down the left field side in the air. Gallant ranging down towards the line down there. It makes the catch for the 3rd out. So 6 innings of baseball thrown by Jacob Polish. He has struck out 7, walked just 1 after 5.5 innings. It's the Firebirds trailing the Mariners here at Eldridge Park by a score of 2-0. We'll keep it right here to talk about the standings here around Cape Cod. August just coming around again. Playoffs start August 2nd.
Another accolade to his resume.
Another accolade that could be in the book is Dawson McCarville. Will get the nod on the hill from Mikhail Nicholson to pitch here in the 6th. So Angelo Smith's evening is done. Goes in inning a 3rd. Allows 1 hit, no runs, no walks, and 1 punch out. A couple defenses changes as well. As Noisy will start things off. As Daniels moves over towards the left field for the Birds to replace Zach Kokoska. And then first pitch fastball on the outside corner for strike 1. Nothing in 1 from McCarville. Fastball looped out towards the first base side. Give it a look is Braden, but it will find the seats on the hill. Count 0-2 on Noisy. Mariners 2, Firebirds 0 at Eldridge Park in this game 1 of this 2-game doubleheader. Again, 7 innings will be played in each ball game. 0-2 from McCarville. Osby pitch in the dirt, corralled up and stopped by Emery. Count 1-2.
Thomas, this reminds me of a game from last summer between the Firebirds and the Brewster Whitecaps at Stony Brook Field.
1-2 pitch. Fastball misses low and out. Count 2-2.
And in that ball game, the Firebirds threw a combined no-hitter in 9 innings. Mitchell Sanger threw 7 perfect innings, 8 no-hit innings before Aaron Oceanbine tossed a no-hit ninth.
2-2. Wave and a miss for strike 3. Noisy goes down, swinging the pitch at the ankles, and McCarville strikes out the first hitter he sees.
But the funniest thing about that ball game is, despite Orleans no-hitting Brewster, Brewster almost won the game. The Whitecaps scored 2 runs in the 7th and the 8th combined to make it just a 1-run contest. And you think about the Firebirds, they could do something similar even without getting a hit. You issue a walk, a wild pitch, ground outs, those can bring home runs.
We've seen it before as Pat Winkle, the catcher. First pitch fastball, wave and a miss for strike 1. Harwich did throw a combined no-hitter last year in a 7-inning ball game. Tagged by a couple Team USA guys and Joe LaSorsa from St. John's. Game when they only won, I think, 1 or 2-0. 0-1 pitch is dribbled out towards the third base on McCabe. Sets his feet through across the diamond in time. Over towards first, and Winkle is retired for the second out. It seems like any time there is a no-hitter going on, it seems like they're always low-scoring games. Doesn't seem there's an offensive onslaught from the other team.
The third baseman from Dayton, Riley Tirada.
So Tirada, the third baseman, will dig in from the right side. Struck out in the third, then hit by a pitch in the fourth, which gave himself an RBI. As McCarville steps off the mound. Will now reclaim his feet back on the rubber. Tirada holds up the stop sign to Ross Chapman. Home plate umpire. First pitch from McCarville. A fastball that touches the knees for strike 1.
And Thomas, you look at a game and potentially if the Firebirds get no hit, there's been a lot of positives today. I know that sounds kind of funny thinking about that if the Firebirds lose 2-0 and get no hit.
0-1 pitch from McCarville. Fastball misses the outside black for ball 1. Count ball and 1 strike.
Angelo Smith tossed an inning in a third and looked sharp. McCarville throwing strikes early, has a punch out in his first inning. It's been a wacky game being the road team at your home park.
The 1-1 pitch is fouled right back to our broadcast position here as it hits off the brick wall. Count ball and 2 strikes. Firebirds ball boy taking a tumble there in front of us. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count. McCarville from the windup. The pitch. Fastball, wave and a miss for strike 3. McCarville strikes out 2 of the 3 manners here in the 6th. And we're through 6 innings of baseball here at Eldridge Park. The Mariners will look to try to throw a no-hitter here at Eldridge Park. As we'll step aside, listen to Firebirds baseball on the Birds Broadcast Network.
Here's the payoff pitch. Breaking ball in there, called strike 3. Jared Schuster freezes Andrew Eister. Trani chokes up on the bat. 1-1 from the southpaw. Breaking ball shot into shallow right field. The right fielder Cabrera coming on. This bounces down for a hit. Aviti is in from third. 2-2. Fastball at the knees. Ring him up. Strike 3. Skiro paints the outside part of the plate.
Top of the 7th inning from Eldridge Park here in Orange, Massachusetts. It's the Harvest Mariners 2 and the Firebirds nothing. Last chance here for the Birds to try to scratch across 2 and polish. No, southpaw from Stanford with a no-hitter on the mound right now. 3, 4, 5 hitters due up for the Firebirds. Max Tirani, first pitch swinging, fouls one back to the screen for strike 1. And in this 7th inning, seems like it's only fitting that The Cape League hitter and average faces Jacob Polish here for the third time. 0-1 a pitch, off-speed wave and a miss for strike 2. Featuring that slider once again from Polish. Count 0-2.
And I'm a little surprised not a single Firebird has tried to lay down a bunt for a hit. And Trani probably not going to do it with 2 strikes, but
0-2 pitch, curveball, high chopper left side of infield. Scooped up by the third baseman. Toronto throw on the first. It's in time. Of course, we know Max Trani hustling and bustling down the first base line, but Toronto's throw just beats him by half a step for the first out here in the 7th.
and that's sometimes what it takes to go the distance and throw a no-hitter. You just got to have that little bit of luck, and we've seen it time and time again. Trani hustles down the line, comes close to beating it out, but tip of the cap to Harwich to make the play.
So again, one down here in the top of the 7th inning, 2-0 Mariners lead. It's Trevin Escara, the first baseman. First pitch, fastball corked out on the ground towards the shortstop. Hughes moves to his left, they're on to first. Is in time to retire Escara for the second out, so another hard hit ball here. It's up to Shea Whitcomb now here with 2 down in the 7th. Now Whitcomb was taking a hit away from him. A line drive off the mid of Polish. Then a dribble out towards Hal Hughes, the shortstop, who throws out Whitcomb. Talk about the luck. That is some luck if you want to keep a no-hitter going. First pitch fastball tails out of the zone for ball 1. Firebirds again. No runs, no hits, no errors. Mariners 2 runs, 6 hits, and no errors. 1-0 curveball doesn't bend enough. Count 2 balls and no strikes. The 2 Firebirds hitters to reach base tonight. Zach Britton hit by pitch in the first, and then it became walked in the third. 2-0 from Polish. Slider 2-0, misses down and in. Count 3-0.
And this is where you could see that if somehow Whitcomb works a walk, you have the tying run at the plate. And one swing later could potentially tie the game.
Especially Polish's pitch count rising here, 56 straights, 24 balls. 3-0 fastball. Misses outside for ball 4. And just like that, the Firebirds bring the tying run to the plate, and Rob Emmerich, the catcher from San Francisco.
Thomas, that's the Birds' first base runner since the 3rd inning. Polish had retired 14 in a row before that walk.
So Emery digs his back right foot in. Polish working from the stretch for the first time since the 3rd inning. Glances in towards the catcher, Winkle. First pitch of Rob Emery. Off-speed pitch is flown out towards straightaway center field. Weimer backtracking up in center. Camp center it and makes the grab for the 3rd out. So Jacob Polish throws a 7-inning no-hitter against the Firebirds. And the Harwich Mariners come on top of this game 1 of the doubleheader by a final score of 2-0. Just the hit by pitch for an RBI, then a Nico Cavadas RBI single. That's what did it for the Mariners today.
Yeah, and Orleans had a good pitching performance from Adam Seminaris. Angelo Smith was good. Dawson McCarville even better. They just didn't get the bats going. You got to tip your cap to Jacob Polish. He did a great job on the hill. Threw strikes, racked him up, and once again, the Harwich Mariners continued to be led by their strong pitching staff.
Yeah, their strong pitching as shown here on Cape Cod, and today was just a prime example of it, as you mentioned. Again, Polish, final line for him. 7 innings, doesn't allow a hit, a run, 2 walks, and 7 punch-outs. I'm sure if you ask him, he's going to say, man, I don't want to walk anybody. But again, I did throw a no-hitter. That's how most of the pitchers are usually after they throw a no-hitter, is that they'll usually say, oh, I didn't have my best stuff on the mound today, or something along those lines.
Mitchell Sanger was extremely frustrated last summer for the Orleans Firebirds. When he threw one, he was like, hey, my stuff stunk today.
Yeah.
Now, granted, he gave up 2 runs, and both of them were unearned, but he was not too happy.
Oh, that's what it usually is out there. So we're sending a break here at Eldridge Park. Stay tuned for the Bird's Eye post game here at Eldridge Park. Harwich takes game 1 by a final score of 2-0. We'll step aside, listen to Firebirds baseball on the Birds Broadcast Network.
It's it's definitely been a summer that I'll never forget.
I know the relationships have been so special for you. How much fun has that been for you to make these relationships with guys from across the country?
Well, when you get to sit in a bullpen for 9 innings with a guy from UNC or a guy from Loyola Marymount, like it's definitely you're forced to make friends out there.
Yeah, you better make friends with those guys.
If not, it's gonna be a long 9 innings. But no, for all the guys that I've met up here have been just great guys, and like that's what we did like a in our mind up thing today. We did, it was like, what is the goal that you want after this summer with your team? And it's like to create like a lifelong friendship with people, and like I truly believe that I've definitely made some of those throughout this.
Yeah.
Coach, first pitch, 620.
Back inside Eldridge Park here after the duration of game one of this doubleheader. Harwich takes it by a final score of 2-0. Jacob Polish, the winning pitcher on the hill for the Mariners again. No hits. The Firebirds in this ball game. Game two will start around estimated 6:30 time here at Eldridge Park. As around the Cape right now, just one other game going on, or two other games, excuse me, going on. Here, top of the third inning, Chatham 1-0 over the Whitey Red Sox at Red Wilson Field. And then over in Brewster, bottom of the third there, still a scoreless ball game between the Kettleers and the Whitecaps. Probably game of the night over there in YD. Top of the third, I mentioned 1-0 Anglers lead. The top two teams in the East Division battling out to try to take first place prize. Jared Schuster will get the nod in game two, and Jordan Butler for Harwich as well. We'll try to continue the strong pitching performance we saw today from both sides. As we're going to send it down to the first base side. Our two amigos down there, Scotty Gange and Alec Hendon.
Hey, Thomas, thanks, man. Time here for the Bird's Eye View post-game show. A little bit of a between game one, 2-0 loss, as we just saw. Here we are for game two. Scotty Gange, team writer Alec Hendon. Alec, I'll go to you first. A no-hitter by Jacob Polish, a fantastic outing. What'd you see from him tonight throwing to the Birds?
Oh, he was just dominant. We saw in the first outing when Polish faced Orleans back at White House Field, when the previous time these two teams matched up, he was just dominant. And he, unfortunately, in that game, there were 9 innings, and the Firebirds, they were able to mount some momentum when they got more at-bats. But in a shortened game, he just dominated with a fastball and a breaking ball that Orleans Firebird hitters couldn't get anything going. And sometimes you just have to tip your cap because he's a tremendous pitcher. He came in with an ERA in the 1.3 range, so he's really good, and he was really good today. And luckily for the Firebirds, they have another game starting shortly, so they have an opportunity to get the bats back.
Yeah, it really is. You know, it's sometimes when you're on, you're on. But as you said, the Firebirds, they have an opportunity to get those bats back. We saw good hard hits and a couple of nice plays. Who impressed you offensively, even though there were 0 hits for the Firebirds today?
Well, Tanner Murray worked a really key walk late in the game to force to get the tying run to the plate with 2 outs, and Rob Emery really hit a ball well. Unfortunately, it was the wrong part of the outfield, and it was caught by the center fielder. But Eddie McCabe worked an early 4-pitch at bat, I believe, in the top of the third inning. He stole second, had a runner in scoring position. The only 2 base runners the Firebirds had, but sometimes you just get dominated, and that's going to happen. As we've seen all season with the Firebird pitching staff to other offenses, they've been able to shut them down. And it was the case today that they were just on the other side and got to witness a little bit of history today at Eldridge.
Hey, so how about that Firebirds pitching staff? Adam Seminaris, Angelo Smith, Dawson McCarville, they all pitched very well. Adam Seminaris ran into trouble in his last inning of work, but still pitched well. They still looked good. What did you see from the pitching staff for Orleans today?
Well, Seminaris, he was off a little bit. It wasn't as his typical performance as we've seen all summer. He's been really, really good. He's probably, the innings might be starting to mount at this point. He's thrown a ton dating back to the collegiate season. But really another impressive outing from Angelo Smith. He was very good the other night in Hyannis, throwing an inning at third. I think he was just about there today. really threw a lot of strikes, worked around some base runners, and just really bared down when he needed to get some key outs. And then Dawson threw a clean 1-2-3 bottom of the 6th inning, and he just looked like that was probably the best I'd seen him throw all summer. Fastball was in the low 90s. He looked really, really effective. So if there is a positive to look at, the pitching staff was really good because this Harwich offense isn't bad. They definitely have some good bats that we saw. We saw Joey Weimer in the All-Star game. We saw Nico Cavadas in the home run derby. These are some big bats that they were able to quiet. When you only allow 2 runs, you should put yourself in a good position to win, but unfortunately just weren't able to get enough offense today.
You know, something Alec mentioned is the fact that Dawson McCarville might have looked the best he's looked today as of all season. I think the first time we saw him when he pitched that 4 innings that was at Katuitt, 4 scoreless innings, that was fantastic. And I agree with you. I think today was a little bit of a glimpse of what we saw then. What was really made him so good today? What was it?
I think his fastball velocity was really impressive. Low 90s, probably throwing a little harder, knowing that he was only going the 1 inning, so he probably let it out more. And just he seemed like he was overpowering the bats. He got some ground balls and got a strikeout. Just really good fastball velocity, which I think everyone was excited to see because you see the potential with Dawson, big kid, big arm, and just for him to let it loose and really rip the fastball, it was impressive to see. And shutdown inning, you throw up a 0, there's no such thing as a bad way to do it.
Hey, so let's move forward. We've broke down this game here for the Orleans side. We're going to have Tyler Henry, the broadcaster for the Harwich Mariners, come on, kind of break down what he saw, and then also kind of moving forward in terms of standings. I mean, these are big games for Orleans. You want to get these points while you can in the back half of the season. How important is Game 2 of today, Alec?
It's huge. Luckily for the Firebirds, they built that 3-game lead on Harwich by winning the first 3 matchups. They're still holding the 3-1 advantage. But if they're able to win tonight, they'll secure the season series with one more meeting next week out at White House Field. But it's huge. You want to take advantage of, even though you played at home last time you were the road team, you want to take care of that home field advantage. If they win tonight, they win the second game, they'll be 3-0 as a home team in the matchup. And it's just another good series. It's a good season series victory against another very good East opponent. I was seeing this is probably not the same Harwich team we saw in their first meeting when Orleans won pretty handedly, and then the previous 2 where they won 1-run games. But this is a Harwich team that is definitely feeling a lot better right now, and it's good for everyone to see that. And for the Firebirds, I think it's all one thing. You got to score runs to win games, and unfortunately they did not do that in the first game.
It really is a team with incredible talent, the Harwich Mariners, with guys like Nico Cavadas, Joey Weimer Jr. They're very, very good, and it's fun to watch them play. Of course, Jacob Polish, who was fantastic today, but the Brewster Whitecaps, another team with great talent, but they've dropped down in the standings. Orleans has almost a 10-point lead on them, but you still want to win these games, still get yourself a good seed for the playoffs. Looking forward in the Eastern Division, what do you expect to see?
Well, I'd expect the Brewster games this weekend. There's 3 matchups, including a doubleheader Saturday and then another game here on Sunday. Big games to finish up the season series with, would you can believe it, Scotty, next week's the final week of the regular season. It's already the end of July. It's pretty crazy. So for them to take advantage this weekend against a Brewster team that they can probably put the final nail in the coffin, as they're, I believe, 8 points behind the Firebirds and maybe like 6 or 7 behind Harwich now following tonight's loss. So it'll be huge. But you want to take care of business against Harwich because you got them for tonight and then tomorrow. You want to make sure you take care of, I shouldn't say tomorrow, but just tonight, then Falmouth, and then Brewster, and then eventually Harwich. But big games, especially at home. You want to take advantage of your home games, and they'll have another opportunity tonight with another good pitcher on the mound.
Jared Schuster, the all-star slinger for Orleans. He's going to be the next starting pitcher for the Firebirds, and it's really a great 1-2-3 duo. And you go Adam Seminaris, you go Jared Schuster, and then head it over to Noah Skiro. He'll be pitching tomorrow night. But tonight with Jared Schuster on the mound, a great opportunity for him and the Firebirds to get back on track after this Game 1 loss.
Yes, he's been impressive all season. Similar to Adam Seminaris, throws a little bit harder, a little bit bigger pitcher, but strike thrower, great off-speed pitch. This changeup has just been filthy all season long. It's been really impressive to see how he's executed. When Al Leiter came to town, he told him, hey man, throw your changeup. You're just really good. Be proud of it. And he's done it so far and is very effective. And he's coming off the nice inning in the All-Star game, went 1-2-3. It was pretty dominant, and I don't expect anything differently in the second game.
Yeah, it's a changeup that really kind of drops. You lose focus for it when it's about 30 to 60 feet going home. It's really, really amazing, that pitch, and it's going to be fun to watch. Offensively, pretty much the same lineup, but a few changes and a few updates and new guys coming in for this Game 2. What do we expect to see in that angle?
Well, I expect some energy at the top of the order with Jacob Hurtubise, center fielder, former Harwich Mariner. We've talked about that enough at this point, but he's facing his old team tonight. Hasn't cracked the lineup in a while, which isn't necessarily his fault because we just haven't been able to play too many games because of the weather. It's great to see a beautiful sunny day here, but he's definitely going to probably be playing for something a little more. I think he took an 0-4 in the last time we played Harwich and saw him here. So it will be big for him to get some action going on top of the order. You get that leadoff guy on base, it changes the complexion of all offensive innings. And if Orleans is able to do that, that'll be a big key for their success in the game too.
See, we're going to tie the Orleans Harwich duo right now because we're going to get Tyler Henry in here. So I'm going to send you to go get Tyler Henry. Alec-Hannon, thanks so much for the time. Yeah.
Thanks, Scotty.
Thank you, buddy. So Tyler Henry's going to come over as he's going to come and take this seat again, the Harwich broadcaster. But as he just said, Jacob Hurtubise, he's a guy that really is fantastic to watch, and he's really fun to watch in the fact that when he's playing Harwich especially, the guy will be playing all over the field in center field. Tyler, you can come on in right now. We're going to keep it live. We're going to keep it settled. We got your chair for you right here, Tyler. Come on now. Come on, baby. Let's go. We're talking about Jacob Hurtubise. Last time when he was out on the field, he was fantastic in the game against Harwich, and he's going to be batting leadoff today. What do you expect to see from him?
I mean, he's got just stupid, unfair amounts of speed. We've all known that. He's one of the fastest guys in the Cape League, and again, Harwich just had kind of a log jam in outfield, so they had to release him, and Orleans immediately, I mean, he had a spot before he even left the Harwich Mariners. So you're going to see a ton of speed. The guy has ridiculous range in the outfield. He's willing to make get his body dirty to go make a play, and offensively, well, I'm sure you've seen what he can do this year. He puts the bat anywhere in the field. He's got an opportunity to run it out at first. A big-time weapon here for the Orleans Firebirds.
He's fantastic. He really is. But the guy who is the epitome of fantastic today is Jacob Polish. 7 innings with no hits allowed. He was absolutely just, I mean, amazing. What did you see from him? I know you were on a different angle today.
Yeah, I taking some photos this time around. Alex taking over on the broadcast, and he did a great job. But Polish, I mean, he might be one of the better pitchers in the Cape. I know we all asked, when Logan Allen left for Team USA, the question on everybody's mind was, who's going to step up and take the torch for Harwich? Is it going to be Connor Seckler? Is it going to be a number of other guys? Polish came in and immediately dazzled. He actually has he had the league's first complete game shutout, 7 innings against Wareham, and he picked up 3 of the 4 wins for Harwich in a series sweep against the number 1 seeded Wareham Gatemen. So he came in the day, he looked exactly like he's looked all season long, and he's been working on a 4th pitch. It's a changeup. So now he has a fastball, changeup, curveball, slider, a 4-pitch guy, and boy, did it look good today. The off-speed killing it late, the fastball setting it up early. Nobody could find a way to get on base on him with the exception of the few walks, and he looked his dominant self today.
I know you just mentioned, his fastball, he was locating it, his off-speed was nice, he was getting a lot of swings and misses. But for you, a guy that's watched him all season long, what was different about him today than maybe other games and just how dominant he was?
I mean, I'm going to be honest. I don't think he looked much different. I mean, granted, he's going to come away with a no-hitter today, but he's looked like this all season long. We really haven't had a game where it was like, oh, boy, Jacob Polish just didn't have it today. He's been killing it season in, season out. And, the only difference was the few bloop singles and maybe a couple of hard-hit line drives that he's given up for hits in previous games just didn't happen today. I mean, it was soft contact. It was flares that were out in the outfield but playable. It was ground balls that were always playable. The defense backed him up, and he comes away with a no-hitter. Very, very great performance out of him, but really just continuing what he's done all season long.
Really fun to watch and kind of taking it away from Eldridge Park here today. When you think of that, the guy throws a no-hitter on the Cape. For a guy like Jacob Polish, how big is that in terms of his draft stock? Must be rising high after today.
Oh, yeah, it's massive, and especially right here after the All-Star game. I mean, it's go time for a lot of these teams. This is crunch time, and now in addition to what can you do fundamentally with your arm, these scouts are looking at what can you do when your team's in the backstretch trying to make a playoff push as Harwich is. So, yeah, no, this was huge for him, and especially for a guy out of Stanford that had pretty good numbers last season, but in addition to what he's doing for his draft stock, he's basically solidified himself a spot as a starter back at Stanford again next year. I mean, it's not just the scouts that are watching, this is coaches as well. So a huge day for him overall, and one that I'm sure he'll never forget.
It's really, really fun to watch. I mean, you can't emphasize that enough how fantastic he was today. But how about the offense? You guys scraped away 2 runs on a very solid Adam Seminaris. What was working for the offense today and just getting the runs that needed to be got?
Sure. I mean, they've been hitting a lot better with runners in scoring position, and that's been huge because at the beginning of the year, they were leaving 8, 9, 10, 11 runners on base, and that's just not sustainable. And, they only get 1 RBI today officially, the other one coming by a hit by pitch, but 1 run batted in, technically speaking, and that's good to see. But, again, it was a very Harwich victory where they get 1 RBI technically, and they still come away with a victory. So the pitching really doing its job, and the offense coming through when it mattered. I mean, they had a couple of other opportunities. They left a few stranded, but at the end of the day, they get the victory, and that's really the most important thing.
Here we come, innings 8 through 14 of the doubleheader day. For Harwich, who's on the mound, and what are we expecting to see from your end?
Actually still waiting on an official starter. I'm sure they have it over there, but just trying to get the photos kind of situated and whatnot. But we'll have that in just a bit, and we'll get that to you as soon as we have it.
Fantastic. Offensively, it's a squad that was fun to watch. Joey Weimer Jr. is awesome. Nico Cavadas actually seemed like the Orleans pitching staff had his number today. Looking forward to Game 2. You'd expect to see any changes on that end?
No, they're just going to keep not throwing in fastballs. I asked him in an interview, I said, how many more hits are you going to have in this 11-game hitting streak before guys quit throwing you fastballs? And he chuckled and said, I don't know. It was that day. So they just, you're not going to see many fastballs thrown to that guy. It's going to be off speed, They're going to keep everything away from him. And you know what? If he walks, he walks. They don't really care, but they're not going to give him anything good to hit. That's for sure.
Especially after the guy hits 11 home runs here at Eldridge Park on Sunday in under 2 minutes. You have to think that guys are going to kind of pitch around him a little more, huh?
Well, and especially after he hit 3 home runs in one game, and he had 6 of his 8 home runs in a span of 7 days. So pitchers were kind of sitting out there going, you know what? Maybe we shouldn't be throwing heat to this guy. And that's kind of been what's happened the last couple of weeks. But he's still done excellent. I mean, he's done a great job of just sitting back, waiting for the pitch to come to him and driving it where he may. He may not be putting him over the fence the last couple of days, but he's been getting RBIs, and he came through with another big one today.
I know you and I have talked about the Eastern Division and the standings and the points and how close it really is. You know, Brewster's the 5th seed right now. If the season ended, Brewster would be out, and you guys would be the 4th seed, and the Orleans Firebirds would be the 3 seed. How important is Game 2 for the Harwich Mariners in terms of point and seeding?
I mean, it's absolutely huge. You look at where they're at after Game 1, they're going to be sitting a game and a half back of Orleans. If you're only a half a game back of the next team you have to worry about, and you can get some momentum going out of what we would call an actual all-star break, as Harwich didn't play the last couple of days due to rain. So they get 3 days off, they come out, and if they can get 2 victories here, take that momentum in, and get into the 3 seed spot, now you're not looking over your shoulder as much, and you can focus up on playing good baseball. Whereas if you're sitting in the 4 seed, you're constantly watching Brewster. I know we've been taking a look at their scores all day, all week. What are the Whitecaps doing right now? Okay, good, they're losing. But if you can just focus on baseball, focus on doing what you do best, it's a lot easier of a road to make it into the playoffs. And again, only one team misses in the East, one team in the West. Harwich trying to make sure that it's not them, and a win here would be big for that.
It's really funny in the fact that the team in last place in the Eastern Division kind of runs the division right now. If Brewster, if they win, then they make things a little more interesting. And if they lose, then things just get a little easier and a little more relaxed for teams like Harwich and teams like Orleans that are just on the cusp of things. Looking forward to today. We're really excited for Game 2. What are you excited most to see in Game 2 today?
I mean, I think the bats are going to pick up. I think that's one thing we can expect. Both sides kind of, again, a couple of days off, trying to get back into the swing of things after some weather days. But now everybody's settled back in. They played a baseball game. They're going to go out for another one. Maybe expect some fireworks in Game 2, maybe a little bit of a higher score.
Game 2, it's officially now a home game for the Orleans Firebirds. Tyler Henry, thank you so much. This was just the away game, so now we are at the home game, Game 2 of the doubleheader. Can't wait for it. That's the end of this Bird's Eye View postgame show. We're going to see this guy in Bird's Eye View postgame show part 2, right?
Sure, I'll be back.
All right, we'll be back. He'll be back. I'll be back. We'll see you then right after Game 2 here. Orleans and Harwich. Game 2 coming up real short.